Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Christina and on this channel we talk about no code and organization and all things design. So today's quick video is going to be a introduction into JotForm. So what's JotForm? We're going to talk about what's JotForm, my introduction to it, and how small businesses can use it, and some thoughts that I had since working with JotForm on a project. So first thing is, what is it? It is basically a form slash PDF builder, and it allows you to collect information via their form builder, and then you can change that information and turn that into a completed PDF that, of course, a lot of business processes use. So if you come into their site and you click on PDF templates, you can find a gigantic body of samples of how you can use their app to create any sort of document that you could think of, really. Audit reports, agreements, records, applications, work orders, letters, whatever you can think of, they probably have an example of. So just try to find something that's closely related to what you're doing, and then kind of mold your form based on the example that they've provided. That would be my best advice. Um, Next, how can small businesses use it? Well, actually, let's backtrack. So how did I get started using JotForm is that I'm working with a team right now, and we have this massive audit report that we put out every year. And basically, we needed a more user-friendly, more digestible system, because what we're using right now is currently a giant Google Sheet that forces you to kind of scroll left and right and up and down to view the sheets. And it's just very unwieldy. So the idea was to create a form that would have the same exact content, but it would be dished out in a more digestible manner that would then make it easier for the team to go through and do all of these audit reports. So that's kind of the problem. And so we found JotForm and we started testing it out. We were kind of, again, browsing all the examples that they have in terms of what features they have, and we found that we needed to tweak some things and really build a custom form. And so that's what we did. We built a custom audit report slash form that we have now tested and are ready to use and deploy into our system. So um, really quickly, how can small businesses use this? And the best two examples that I can really think about is like the contract. There's a bunch of different contract forms in here that you can look through. And so, house rental, partnership, basic rental, freelance contract. And basically, to show you, it has two sides. The first part is the form where you can enter in data and just fill in the form. And what it'll do is take that data and turn it into a contract for you. So you can see how this saves a lot of time if you just templatize everything in your process, in your business. Another really, I think, another use case that's really applicable to small businesses is if you have work orders, proposals, and other agreements or inventory that you need to follow and keep track of. This is another example, and this one I'll actually do another video on for an apartment hotel. But basically, the idea is that, again, you'll go through and fill out the information for party A and party B. And basically what it's going to do, and you'll date it and sign it. And then what it'll do is take that content that you've kind of inputted on the top, and it'll bring in that information and turn it into a contract. So that's nice. And you can see how this automated process will save a lot of time and just human power in general. Okay, so yes, so the next video will show you how to kind of build something like this, but I want to do it with an actual agreement. My thoughts on working with JotForm so far. I think it's got pretty cool. It's got a pretty cool system, right? I can show you this, what the inside of it looks like as well. So this is a quick form that I just put together, right? Let's say that this is a contact form. and you'll have your name, your email, and type the message. And so this is all very clean, simple. And what this will do is you can embed this or just share it as a link. Someone will come in, put in their information, submit it, and that information will come into what they call an inbox, which you would access from their general kind of page. And you can split your forms into different kind of folders. So right now we just have a test forms folder. And you can either edit the form or visit your inbox or do a bunch of other functions that you need. But let's talk about the inbox. So the inbox is basically where they're going to collect and aggregate all the submissions that are sent into that form. And so this one I just submitted, you can see, so my name, email, and the message. What's cool is that you can tag each one of these, reply to the form, so send directly, and you can comment on this. Now, I think what's really cool is you can comment on it generally, or you can comment on each of these fields. So I thought that was nice, and especially when you're doing something like an audit report, that's something that is definitely important, and that's something that we really will be using in the audit report that we built for the team that I was working with. And so that's something that we really like. And then here you can print out the response, or you can customize a PDF. So you can then build a PDF for this, which you can then export into a business document. Here you'll see an archive page. So this is basically all the messages that you have archived. So all these submissions will go here. And then of course, any submission that you delete will be listed here. And so that I think is really neat. I think this setup, this UX, UI is a lot more user-friendly than, let's say, Airtable or Google Forms, where it sends it into either just one big listing and you have to kind of flip through, or with Airtable, it just collects all of them into one line, but then you have to click into it to see the entries. So I think this is a really good setup. And annoyances, I would say one of the hard parts with working with JotForm is right now this is all very fast because it's a very simple form. But when you're doing something like a transparency report or an auditing report and it's got 50 pages, that's when you can really start to feel the app hit its limit. It's slow when you're editing the PDF. It's slow when you're editing the form. You can't really format the questions the way you want it to be formatted. That's something that I think is a missed opportunity, is the fact that we're unable to format the questions, right? The questions here, it's really hard to format them just the way we want it. So it's more utilitarian in that sense. Of course, you can kind of do some design work here, but it's not as customizable as other form apps. So that's something that you definitely have to think about when you're working with this. But it's okay. I feel like if the functionality is working, then that shouldn't be a big deal. And then, yeah, the PDF builder, when you get to, let's say, when you hit 30 pages and more, that's when the PDF builder starts to really choke up and really slow down. So that's something that you do also want to take into consideration of. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments, and I'm happy to answer them. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.